You ever just sit down and look at things around you and realize that there could have been more to it, but instead it was all just a waste of time for reasons unknown? Oh.
Joy-Con, the only controller that has somehow both amazed me and disappointed me. There is just so much packed into these little tiny controllers, and they're two controllers that can act as one, giving you a range of freedom. And honestly, they would probably be my favorite controller if they didn't grow up to be so damn disappointing. Don't get me wrong, I love these TikTok controllers, but they just don't come in enough flavors.
Like, I'll walk out of CVS in a good mood because of all the coloring and flavors, but a trip to Best Buy makes me want to die because all I see is the gray Joy-Cons and the blue Joy-Con wrist straps.
That's not to say that there aren't other colors than the standard ones, but if I'll be honest, these other choices suck. Neon yellow? More like begone, fellow. Green and pink? More like beans, you stink. Purple and orange? More like you're wrong. Orange. These colors sound freaking fantastic on paper, but who decided to pick the worst version of each color? Furthermore, who decided to mix up colors and not offer them in tandem with each other? That purple Joy-Con. It's just, it's sexy, it's beautiful, I'd let it take my daughter to prom. But sadly, it's paired with orange. Why orange? It makes no sense. I would understand if it were yellow because purple and yellow complement each other, but no, it's flippin' orange. Bitch, please.
But it's not just the color that's disappointing. Really, sometimes it's the configuration that can get me disappointed, as looking into a mirror. Oh god, it just gets worse.
Have you ever just turned a right Joy-Con on its side for games? Yeah, it gives me a terminal illness not yet discovered by scientists. I don't get how this feels so wrong while the left one feels fine on its side. My thumbs just decide to touch each other every time I want to play with the right Joy-Con on its side, and this negative space gives me anxiety. It's like looking into the void and hearing the demons of my childhood nightmares.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Also, the shoulder buttons on the top when you flip it on the side, they're just too small and they're uncomfortable and I hate them. Now, I know that the wrist strap is there to make this easier, but let's be honest, when was the last time you used them? Not to mention, you can just get them stuck if you accidentally put them on wrong. That's fun. That's fun. That's what we call fun in the business. Nintendo is just the owner of fun now.
Well, time to sell my liver to buy a new pair. That's commentary on the fact that these things cost a lot of money.
Joy-Con are stupid expensive. A standalone con will cost you $50, while a pair will be $80. That's more than a 3D collection that will run for a limited amount of time. I understand why they cost so much, but boy, oh boy, that is just a bit too much monies. For that kind of price, these controls better get me laid.
Oh yeah, girl, you know I got them Joy-Cons. What color? Purple and orange. Damn it!
Speaking of sex, why is there no Joy-Con with a D-pad on it?
I know Hori makes one, but to be honest, the D-pad looks rather big and the overall look at the controller just looks cheap. The only other option is to replace the shell of a Joy-Con, and that in and of itself is very risky. You can brick the Joy-Con very easily by doing that. I don't understand why the light switch gets a D-pad, but we can't get an official Joy-Con with one. That's just so disappointing.
I mean, just look at it. It's just so sad and depressing when you just, it's so, I hate it. But the Joy-Con potential doesn't end there. So far, we've seen the same shell design for Joy-Con, and there haven't been any more interesting approaches since.
Sure, we had those NES controllers, but they didn't really work when attached to the console, and when the Super Nintendo got online support, they got rid of the gimmick because chivalry is just dead. While the Switch is made for portable usage, the Joy-Con design itself can benefit from some new design changes, like a better grip on the back, bigger buttons, bigger sticks, analog triggers. But those are just some minor improvements. What about giant overhauls giving us better options? Well, when the Switch was first announced, people made mock-ups like this, and it opened up possibilities to what Joy-Con variants we could get. Well,
It just gets you every time.
I mean, someone did make the GameCube Joy-Cons, and they look great, but what about other options, like a Wii theme, a Super Nintendo theme, an N64 theme? It has better variety than just the average design, and maybe then I would feel more comfortable paying $80 for a kick-ass controller.
But as a Nintendo fan, I'm obligated to buy them. All of them, forever. I just can't complain about the product and not buy a bunch of that same product. That would just be disappointing.
So it happened. My Joy-Con got the case of the drift. This f***ing plague has infected many Switch owners large and small, and it's hard to even hear about some people who haven't gotten drift on their Switch. It's very annoying because if you dare complain about it, with proof I might add, you will get nothing! Nintendo has only ever mentioned drift once, and that's it, they mentioned it. I bet you I can buy a new pair of Joy-Con, and they'll be crap within the next month or so. Hey Nintendo, here's a new catchphrase for you. We're the Apple of video games.
And you know I'm not a fan of them because I don't own any Apple products. Since when?
Nothing is going to change though. Even though there are rumors of a beefy Switch, I bet you the Joy-Con will see no further hardware revisions. And honestly, I don't really care that much. Because for all my complaining, I still like the Joy-Con. I think they make long play sessions comfortable, and the separate controller configuration makes for interesting play styles. There are certain things that the Joy-Con does right that other controllers just don't have. HD rumble, that IR sensor, the motion controls, it's all great. It's more the design that could be better, and I do hope that Nintendo does more with the controller in the future.
And you know, with everything not being that bad with the Joy-Cons, maybe I can find appreciation in other things. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. He makes me depressed. I can't.